Infants from birth to the age of 5 have been the hardest hit by this outbreak of measles. Of course, older children can also develop the illness, but the proportion of infants under 5 is higher.
Doctors say that the priority is to make antibiotics and other drug supplies available to treat the people who are sick. They also want to inform parents of the obvious signs of measles and of the need to see a doctor at the slightest doubt.
Symptoms include fever, swollen glands and red eyes, and spots on the skin. Parents who notice these symptoms should take their children to a health center immediately.
Doctors and associations are calling for an immediate organized vaccination campaign to bring a halt to the epidemic. The vaccination costs about 1,000 Guinean francs, or about 10 euro cents.
The African Union has agreed to put in place a rapid reaction force to deal with conflicts on the continent. Their disclosure was made at the ongoing summit in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Their continental body has also decided on sending observers to South Sudan to monitor the ceasefire in the war-torn country. We have details in this report.
Summit that just ended in Addis Ababa. The AU decided to put into place an emergency rapid reaction force with a mission to intervene in conflicts on the continent. Some 10 countries promised to put troops at the disposition of the African Union to react more quickly to a crisis situation. The AU also decided to send observers to South Sudan to help maintain the respect of a ceasefire signed by both sides, but violated regularly.
We need to make sure that it holds because there is no other answer than a political solution. No military solution will work. So we think that everybody, international community, the region, ourselves, we work towards making sure that the ceasefire holds and then honest negotiations begin.
On the subject of Central African Republic, the AU said it could still transfer its mission forces into a United Nations force if the situation worsens. But such a move would take at least 6 months, while the priority is still to protect the civilian population.
We are in a situation where we face these dangers right now, both in Central African Republic and South Sudan. In some cases, certainly already atrocities have been committed.
That has taken a
Ethiopian Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn passed the leadership role of the AU over to Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz. He will preside over the AU for 1 year. Once again, conflicts on the continent dominated the summit, leaving little room for scheduled talks on food security and agriculture.
Well, new figures released by UNICEF on the status of children reveal an improvement in the welfare of children the world over. Despite this, though, the report also shows a sharp disparity in the way data is amassed in different countries. We have more in this report.
Which shows that better data has helped to improve the health and education of children around the world. The authors of the report noted that being counted makes children visible, making it possible to address their needs. Yet the report also revealed sharp disparities in the ability of different countries to amass that data.
And this is a particularly important topic because many countries do not have well-functioning vital registration systems, well-functioning routine reporting systems that really allow us to capture this data.
The broader wealth of data collected over the last 3 decades means that 90 million children now live beyond the age of 5, and that while only 5 out of 10 children attended primary school in 1990, today that number is 8 out of 10. These figures are encouraging. The problem lies in keeping up the momentum.
We want to make sure that governments actually use the data to improve the situation of children and women around the world.
The report also found that 6.6 million infants under the age of 5 died in 2012 from preventable causes, and that 11% of girls marry before the age of 15. UNICEF said that while data was crucial, it was up to governments to use it well.
Well, we now take our second break. The weather report is next. Welcome back. And before we end this edition of the news, a quick reminder of the day's top stories. The Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Her Excellency Dr. Ajar Aissatou Saidi, has reiterated Gambia government's commitment to strengthening existing ties with the United Arab Emirates. Deputy Speaker Honorable Fatou Mbaye is leading members of the National Assembly Select Committee on Health for a nationwide tour of health facilities. Health authorities in Guinea has called for international support in the wake of a deadly missiles, and African Union leaders meeting in Addis Ababa have agreed on the formation of a rapid reaction force to deal with conflicts on the continent. That's all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company, and do stay tuned to GRTS. Until then, I am Fatou Mbaye.
Africa belebe no mala.
It's a wonderful experience to be back again in another edition of your development-oriented program. This is the National Bantaba Forum, and I am Tijan Jame. Well, in tonight's edition, what we're going to look at is a book that is being compiled by the head of state. Well, some of you who might be in Kanilai for the 7th anniversary of the breakthrough, we have about 2 books that were distributed